originally said that Treehouse of Horror 10 was the undisputed best one, but I think it's got some competition now. Real competition. Treehouse of Horror 15, guys, is amazing. It's fantastic. It is probably my new favorite Treehouse of Horror episode. So without any further ado, let's just dive right in. I'm excited to talk about this one. So it starts with an opening segment called Keeping It Kodos, where Kang and Kodos eat the Simpsons family. But then somehow Bart survives and ends up being adopted by the aliens. It's that perfect amount of bizarre and funny. Now we get to the segments themselves. First up, the Ned Zone. I remember this one from Phantom Strider's Best List, and I can see why. This is one of the funniest Treehouse of Horrors segments I've ever watched. It's about Ned having these visions of people dying, and it's somehow coming true. So, the first one, it's Homer hitting Ned in the head with a bowling ball trying to get a frisbee off the roof, which is a really nice running gag that goes all throughout the segment. And the first vision he has is of the doctor dying by falling out the window. And what happens? He dies when he falls out the window and goes splat. Then he tries to save poor old Gil, who's trapped on electric wire. But then he saves him, has a vision that he's going to get eaten by crocodiles, and then ends up dropping him down a hole, and that's where he's eaten by crocodiles. And one of the more brutal deaths in Treehouse of Horror so far. And then he has a vision about himself killing Homer. And at first he's confused about what's going on. So he shreds the gun, not shooting Homer, and thinks that he saved the town, when in reality he's supposed to shoot Homer because Homer's going to blow up all of Springfield with his idiocy by hitting a nuclear destruct button that would nuke the whole town, basically. So Ned tries to stop him, but in a hilarious gag, the way the message gets through to Homer on the microphone, it comes in segments telling him to do the thing that Ned's trying to tell him not to do. It's hilarious and it works so well. And then Ned shoots Homer and does kill him. But then Homer's tongue hits the button. And then the episode ends with God awarding Homer, for some reason, with his frisbee. Oh, that nonstop made me laugh. It was such a fun segment, and I loved every single minute of it. Then the second segment, which is where this poster comes from, is 4 beheadings and a funeral, based on the Jack the Ripper murderers. This is one of the bloodier segments of this episode, but it's not, like, super gory. Like, you don't see body parts flying off or anything like that. You just see a lot of vicious stabbings. And the weird thing about this one is that some of the characters put on a British accent, and some of them don't. So it's a bit jarring. It's a minor complaint, but it's something that kind of bugs me a little bit. Like, you have characters like Marge, Lisa, Bart, Homer, and even Comic Book Guy all putting on this British accent. But then you have characters like Moe, Mr. Burns, and Wiggum, who just use their normal voice. It's a bit jarring, and I don't know why they decided to do that, but you know what? It's not the biggest deal in the world, so I'll allow it. It's still a really good segment that actually builds a pretty good mystery and has a nice heaping of violence for those who love their carnage candy. And the twist at the end is actually pretty good, even though it is kind of predictable for people like me who have seen murder mysteries like this a dozen times. But for those who haven't, it's pretty damn good. I loved this segment. And then we get to the final segment. Crap, what was its name? I'm sorry, give me a minute. I am sorry. I love this episode so much, but I can't remember what this final segment's name is. Oh yeah, and it also turns out that the whole second segment is a dream had by Wiggum's kid, Ralph. That's a nice little twist, too. And then a little cameo from Kang and Kodos. And the final segment, In the Belly of the Boss. This is the weakest segment of the three, but it's still quite good. It's about Mr. Burns having swallowed this pill, but Maggie apparently jumped into the pill before it was shrunk and put inside of him. So, the Simpsons family has to go on this voyage throughout Mr. Burns' body, and Homer, being the nincompoop that he is, screws up a lot. He screws up a lot. But they are able to save Maggie, but then Homer decides to eat a marshmallow inside of Mr. Burns' stomach. And that leads to him growing inside Mr. Burns, and it ends with a musical number. Bit of a weird one. And then for some reason it ends with Standing Tall. Like the song Standing Tall from Perfect Strangers. It's a good song, it just seems a bit weird. And it does end with a weird dance sequence at the end, too. The third one is weird, but it's not bad. It's not like the Island of Dr. Hibbert, where it was just too crazy and out there for me to even call it good. But that's really my only complaint. The rest of this, awesome. I love this episode. And I wouldn't put just the Ned Zone if I did a top 10 Simpsons episode list. I would do this as the entire episode, because even though that last segment is a bit of a step down, the other two are just so damn good that I don't even care, and it would overrule that one. Yeah, I have nothing left to say. This is a phenomenal Treehouse of Horror episode, and I'm hoping 16 is just as good. So my final verdict for this is a strong, undisputed, undeniable 11 out of 10. The second 11 out of 10 I have ever given to a Treehouse of Horror episode. And for good reason. This is a fantastic one, and I'm definitely going to be watching it every October from here on out. Well, that's it. And that's the only review we have today for Animation Station, so thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And like I said in other videos, do not expect a review on Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 for a while, because I am pretty much dead broke after I spent $70 for Sonic Frontiers so I could stream it in November. So, but if I can get the game for Christmas, because it is on my wish list, spoiler alert, I will definitely do a review of it, hopefully sometime before New Year's. If not, then early January. So, just stay tuned for that. But also stay tuned tomorrow, because it's going to be just another Treehouse of Horror. So, thank you guys for watching. I'm Jack Small of Animation Station. I'll see you guys next time. Seriously, check this episode out if you haven't already. It's so good, man.